Mystery behind each door, footsteps echo on the floor. Pieces fit but don't make sense, chilling facts leave us tense. Crime time, here we go. Stories that the night unfolds. Truth is stranger than they show. In the silence it grows cold.
Criminal and Crimson Crime.
Welcome back to Criminal and Crimson, where we dive into some of the most interesting true crime cases there are, and also some very unique ones too. This is not the most unique story, it's one that's very well known, but I think it's very interesting. It's the Tylenol Murders of 1982. In 1982, 7 people in a matter of days died, and they had all one thing in common. They had taken Tylenol, which is America's go-to pain reliever. And this case would actually change the way we deal with over-the-counter medication. Not just in America, but it would have a knock-on effect throughout the world. The capsules in question had been bought just over the counter by people who had no connection with each other. Well, some did, but not all of the victims had any connection at all with each other. The capsules were laced with cyanide. Now, I'm sure you've all heard of cyanide. Cyanide is a poison capable of killing a person in minutes. Just 120 milligrams, less than a few grains of sugar, can be fatal. The first victim was 12-year-old Mary Kellerman. On the morning of September 29th, 1982, she complained of a sore throat. Her parents gave her 1 extra strength Tylenol. But this time, even though this is a normal thing to do, at least in America, to give people, even kids apparently, Tylenol for any discomfort. Within a few minutes, she collapsed to the floor and had to be rushed to hospital. Tragically, she didn't survive. The same day, 3 members of the Janis family fell ill. Adam Janis, 27-year-old postal worker, collapsed and died suddenly. So his brother Stanley and sister-in-law Teresa rushed to his home to comfort the grieving family and also to make funeral arrangements when they suddenly got headaches. The headaches were likely caused, I suppose, from grief and stress. You know how if you're really upset with somebody or something dies or whatever, you can cry a lot, etc., and then end up with migraines. So they unknowingly took Tylenol from the same bottle in his home. Hours later, they were both dead. So, of course, with 7 people dead in such a short time, an investigation was launched. They quickly found that the capsules had been laced with potassium cyanide. They had discovered that the capsules had been removed from store shelves. I'm not sure if they were purchased or shoplifted or whatever, but they were taken from store shelves. Then cyanide was placed in some of the capsules, and then quietly they were put back on the shelves. So unknowingly, people would then buy them. The shop staff had no idea anything had taken place. It was all done very covertly. It launched one of the biggest criminal investigations in American history, with not just local and state police, etc., joining forces, but also the FBI and the Food and Drug Administration. Over 125 agents worked on this case, but no fingerprints or any DNA evidence, etc., were ever found. One person of interest did emerge, a James William Lewis. Lewis sent a letter to Johnson & Johnson demanding $1 million to stop the killings. They couldn't actually link him to being the actual perpetrator, so he did get 13 years in jail for extortion because he tried to, obviously blackmail Johnson & Johnson. But no actual link could be found that he did it. He may have just been seeing an opportunity that there's these Tylenol murders happening and tried to extort Johnson & Johnson company. So we don't know if he was the poisoner. It is possible still. Or if he was just purely trying to extort money and had nothing to do with the actual poisonings. This, of course, led to widespread change. So Johnson & Johnson themselves withdrew 31 million bottles of Tylenol from the American shelves basically instantly and offered replacements. The replacements included tamper-free packaging. So this spurred on the adoption of tamper seals on packaging and tamper-proof tops and on bottles and things like that have become pretty much standard throughout the world, now. So yeah, 40 odd years on, and we're no closer to discovering who the Tylenol killer was. We also don't really have a motive, which is one of the things that makes this case so chilling. Did this person purely do it like basically as a serial killer? Were they just poisoning completely random people, or was there something more to this? So of course, one possibility would be that maybe it didn't come from off the shelf. You know, the first killing, like say of the 12-year-old girl, maybe she or somebody closer or something, you know, poisoned her. Somebody poisoned her or something, and then to cover it up, they then went and got some more poison those and put them on the shelf. So that basically it threw investigators off. You know, that's one possibility I can think of if it wasn't random. Or was this completely random? Like a serial killer might pick a random person off the street. What did somebody just take random packages, poison them, and put them back on the shelf and kill completely random people? Were all 7 random? Did the person not know any of this at 7? We just don't know. We just don't know if this was partially targeted or if it was completely random. We basically only have one suspect, that is James William Lewis, and he is only a suspect because he wrote to Johnson & Johnson trying to extort $1 million out of them. There is no other reason to suspect him whatsoever. So in a way, you could say there are no true suspects in this case, and we're no closer to solving it. So what do you think? Was this completely random? Was it targeting one set of people and then the rest were put on the shelf to then throw investigators off? Or was this completely random? Let me know in the comments. I'd like to know what the general consensus is. And until next time, stay curious.